Okay, well, here's the second question. And in fact, I'm going to take just a minute because I'm realizing that this is blocking you. Hopefully we won't lose the slideshow. And hopefully you can see our guests a little better. Oh, is that better? Hey, there's a whole group over there. All right, the second question is, tell us your favorite Hank Stram story.
I go first on this one. What happened was that after I came to Kansas City, and I signed to Kansas City, Lamar Hank Stram took me to his house, the house you were talking about, and he says, before I have lunch with you, I want to play ping pong with you. And I said, I'm going to be playing ping pong with the head coach. And he didn't realize I grew up in Park and Rec in Los Angeles. And we played ping pong all day long. And I remember the night of my prom at high school, I played ping pong all night because I couldn't find a date. So the amazing part about it, we start playing, and Hank realizes that he hasn't won a point. I beat him 7-0, and he says, we're going to play one more game. This one, we'll get to 21. And what do I'm just a rookie, I'm playing the head coach, and I want to beat him. And the table was set where we were set up, and to the closest to the left of us was a wall. And so we were playing back and forth, and he started ricocheting the ball off the wall and hit my side of the court, off the table. And I kept saying, that's cheating. Well, we played, and I was hitting the ball back and forth, and all of a sudden, ricocheted off the wall and go across. And I ended up losing 22-20. And I'll never forget, we're walking away, and Hank's wife says, how are you? And all I could say was, your husband kept using the wall. And she says, well, he plays ping pong that way. That's how I learned to play Kansas City ping pong.
Mike is right, you know, he likes to win. And I came out of Minnesota, and, you know, in the stadium, the new stadium, they had a racquetball court. He likes to play handball, both hands. Up in Minnesota, we can change rackets, you know. So he found out that I won the racket contest. I had the big trophy. I beat everybody in that. And he kept waiting. One day, nobody's there but Wayne Rudy, the trainer, you know. He called me, he said, hey, Bill, come on, I want to play you. I heard you're pretty good. I said, no, you sure you want to play me, coach? He said, yeah. So the racquetball, we take the ball and put it in heat the ball up. So that ball is going faster. We bust them, you know. And I said, all right, coach. I went and put my suit on. Because I know if you get in front, he's going to hit you with the ball. He had his suit on, but I'm going to tell you. So I went in there and told Wayne Rudy, come in, you keep the score. I'm in there, I hit the ball. He gets in front of me, I take the ball, hit him upside the head. He goes, oh. And every time I get in front, he goes, hit him. I said, no, coach. Never could do it. And Wayne Rudy's supposed to be keeping court. And finally, you know, I shouldn't tell you this, but he had a toupee on. I hit him so hard, and that ball hit him. I go, wow. I said, no, hit him. Coach, hit him. And he just stood there. Finally, he walks off the court. He said, wait a minute, I got to go to the bathroom. He goes to the bathroom, he never came back. gonna tell you another one, and I'll let Beyond have it. I used to play jokes on there. A lot of people, you know. You remember the what you call that? What do you call that big cherry picker? You know.
Yeah, big crane, but it wasn't
Crane.
practice from.
He likes to be up high.
Cherry picker.
Cherry picker. Yeah, that's what he called it. Yeah. He goes up on top. He likes to be higher than everybody. You know, he ain't 5'1". He wants to be up over everybody. That's why one of the things about Coach, you know, he wants the tallest guy and the shortest guy. Everybody, the smallest guy. But the cherry picker, he's up there. And I used to go by the office sometimes just to see what the schedule's gonna be, you know, just run by the office. Betty was there, going, hey, let me see the schedule. So at the end of this day, he said, if they do great, he said, I'm gonna let them go in early, real early, you know. So I knew that. Everybody run their plays, and boom, 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 boom. Wow, right at the end of the practice, he's going, all right, guys, you guys did a great job. Say, y'all, go ahead on in. We ain't running sprints, nothing like that at the stadium, you know. But what I did, I went in and pulled the spark plug. I pulled the spark plug on his cherry picker. About Yarbrough and them, and we ran in, and Yarbrough up there, he said, all right, Yarbrough, let's get us down, man, get us down. Yarbrough goes, no. 10 minutes later, I told some of the players, I said, hey, watch him, he's still up there. He yelled at me, Yarbrough, get us down, get us down. Yarbrough, hey, still, I forgot that. George Toma, you know, they had to go over to the baseball stadium and get him. He came over there. He said, what's wrong? He said, God darn it, what's wrong with this thing? And George looks in there, saw the plug, plugged it back in. Next day, they had a big padlock on it. And the coach, he always knows it. He says, somebody did that. And he told Wings at the end of one of the practices, tell Bell, come in my office. He come in his office, you know. He looked at me and he said, I know you. I said, yeah, Coach, you know me, my name is Bobby Bell. He goes, you know anything about my cherry picker out there? I said, what do you want to know, Coach? He said, I want to know who pulled the plug on it. I looked straight at him and said, he looks right at me. I said, he going, God darn it, Bill, don't you do that anymore. I said, Coach, okay, I won't do it anymore. But I always did that to him, something like that. I had another one on him. You know, you run sprint. Coach likes to blow the whistle. Everybody going, he blow the whistle. He likes to see the big guys, when he blow the whistle, they train to him. Stop, go, stop, go. So one day I got Wayne Rudy's whistle. I put it on my shoulder pad down. And at the end of the practice, you know, we running sprints, you know, the guys, line up, we start off the line first, go, let's go. And you line down, he blow the whistle, you take off. Blow the whistle, take off, you know. So the guys, you know, the player's tired, you know, like this. And I blow it, right when the coach put his whistle up to his well, I blow it. He goes. The guys take off running. He goes, okay. Another guy lying down, they sit down, you know, I'm sitting there going, right before the coach gets his whistle, I blow the whistle, the guys take off. Nobody else have a whistle out there but him, you know. I did that for the whole day. And it went, so the next day he comes out there, he said, before he started blowing his whistle, he said, the next time I hear a whistle, that's $250. He's gonna find out who it was. He's looking at me. And I said, Coach, it's not worth $250. He did not know what, he wanted to say something really bad. But he wait till I get in his office, he tell me, don't do that. It's okay, Coach. I'll find something else to do.
Good thing you were a great player, Bobby. Somebody else had cut him the first day. Because since you were such a great player, you got away with this stuff all the time. No, Hank actually, in my case, he had never seen somebody, I didn't, for this before the racquetball, we all played racquetball against the New Station, that wasn't much fun. Because they cheated all the time. But, plus, he never got a good ruling because that ball hit the floor. And says, no, it hit the front wall first. So he said, let's call Phyllis, that was his wife's name. Let's call Phyllis on the phone to find out where the ball hits. He was pulling stuff like that. But before that, my rookie year, he had never seen anybody kick a football with his side of the foot like I did. So he actually, a week or two before training camp, we went to the practice facility in Swope Park, and he would hold the ball for me. He would take a knee for about half an hour, 3 times. He would hold the ball from the 30 yard, 40 yard, 50 yard, right hash mark, left hash mark. He wanted to learn about the kicking so he could coach me. So later, if I missed a kick, he tried to tell me what I had done wrong, and if I made a kick, he would take the credit, I guess. I liked him from day one. I knew some of his trademarks. He had to win. But since I was on the team, I felt like regardless of what he tells me, I'm going to do it. Whether I felt it was wrong or right, he was the coach. That's what I was learned from ski coaches and football coaches that I had in Montana one year. So even though I didn't like what he did, I decided that I'm going to do whatever he tells me to do, I'm going to do it. And I always defended Hank. He was a hell of a football coach. Like all of us, we had some faults, but I never got into that at all. He took us to championships. We won a lot of football games, and I thought he was a phenomenal coach. So I have a lot of good things to say about him, but I do get a kick out of what Bobby is. I want to have one quick Bobby Bell story, though.
I gave you $10 not to talk.
Sideline my rookie year, and Hank was coaching from this cherry picker way up in the air. It was a rainy Friday morning. It was a short practice. We didn't even practice on Saturday then. And somebody said, we stood on the sideline, and somebody said, you think Lenny can throw the ball over the tower? And it was decided that Lenny probably couldn't throw the ball to the tower. And then Bobby said, I can throw the ball over the tower. So I said, Bobby, I bet you $100 that you can't do it. Then he threw the ball over. And I stepped it off. So I'm pretty good at stepping it off distances because I did that kick and field goal measuring off. That ball went 87 yards in the air. And he went only 87 because he had to throw it to them high to get over the tower. Right? So after practice, I said, Bobby, I don't have 100. How about 10? I never had anybody $1 in my life for more than that. So I talked him down to 10. Now about 5-6 years ago, so I gave him $10. 5-6 years ago, we tell him this story. We're down some function down in Florida someplace. And I said, Bobby, tell you what, I got the 90. We've been talking to a group like this. And I said, I was wrong. Here is the $90 that I owed you for. And he handed out the $90, and I thought, that's pretty good. Then, of course, what he said, what about the interest? And Bobby, even today, I would not pay.
Still waiting on the interest.
You can wait longer for that. But that was some of the things that we would do, and it was fun. Bobby was he was one of my heroes, of course, and so was Mike, the Heisman Trophy winner. I signed with the Chiefs actually 3 weeks before Super Bowl I. I wasn't a rookie. I didn't play in that game. I was a rookie the next year, but because of 2 leagues, that's how how the rules were. And the draft, by the way, now they're gonna have, what, 400,000 or 500,000 coming into Kansas City to party and to drink? When I was drafted, I had sent a telegram in my name, care of Montana State University. I think the athletic director got a hold of me about 3 or 4 days later. I said, I got a telegram for you. And the telegram said, congratulations, you've been drafted in the 3rd round of the AFL redshirt draft. Signed, Jack Stepman. I had no idea what it meant. Drafting in those days during the Vietnam War was not necessarily a good thing. So I went into the coach and he explained to me, some of the draft rules, and I said, Coach, I guess I was going to go back to Norway. I was going to ski for 4 years and go back to Norway. And they said, no, you have a chance to do more than that. So I said, I'm graduating this spring. I'm done. I kicked 1 year. I just kicked 1 year in college. The reason I got drafted, I did kick a 59-yard field goal. And I found out, it took me a week to find out that broke the pro record by 3 yards and the college record by 5 yards. So that's why. So then, I'm not going to do it. He said, yeah, you're going to stay on the team. I think it's a different sport. You have 1 more year left of eligibility. You can be a 5th year in school, the fall quarter, and if you have a good year in the football team, you may get drafted by the NFL. And that's exactly what happened. So then the choice is, do I go back to Norway and ski for nothing, or do I go and do I play pro football? So I ended up signing in Kansas City, but so then I was drafted I was signed in December of '66. And so the first game that I saw after I signed with the Chiefs was that these boys were playing the Buffalo Bills for the right to go to Super Bowl I. And the Chiefs won 31-7, I remember. And Mike scored a touchdown that he goes down, that's about a 20-yard touchdown run maybe, but he went about 100 yards because I don't know if you've seen the play. He ran back and forth and back and finally got into the end zone. I won 31-7, and of course they go to Super Bowl I. I'm in Norway at the time. Get back to New York the following day, anxious to see how did the AFL do against the NFL. And I saw the score, it was Packers 31, Chiefs 7. But halftime was 14-10, and it was a close game for a long time. But then for a second I thought, maybe I signed to the wrong league. Then I come to Kansas City, and quickly we played the Chicago Bears, my first exhibition game in Kansas City in front of the home crowd. And Hank wants to win that game as badly as he wanted to win the Super Bowl, I think. And George House is still the coach. The Bears scored first, and we ended up scoring 66 points. And the stadium went absolutely crazy, and I knew that I was in the right path.
Hey, on that note, Bob Johnson was riding a war paint. You remember that?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. I think he broke his arm. He kept running, we kept scoring touchdowns, and Bob said that. But Bob would go back to the thing with his horse, he said, what are we going to do? You didn't know this, but Bob take a little drink, all right. Take a little drink. And somebody said, who was it? Gail Sears. You remember Gail Sears? Big Buckers there. They were standing there, they was on the sideline, and going and said, man, we better hurry and get this game over. They're going to kill that horse. Bob, the last time he jumped on his horse and rolled up there, he fell off the horse as he get back and broke his arm.
It was under the influence though, wasn't it?
Bobby, we were neighbors many, many years ago. I thought I knew you. I had no idea he was quite the practical jokester. I don't know, maybe whatever happened in your pool, maybe that was a little bit of karma. Great answers.